What is wild? It's not really a thing you've ever asked yourself, right? Close your eyes and picture wilderness. Maybe you see the tops of mountains, or entering a forest with nothing around you but trees, or the middle of the ocean so far from something familiar that the only way to describe it is being wild. That's not how I see it. Nature is wild. It's unpredictable, and oddly enough, it's all around us. From the pets we come home to and play with in the backyard, to the birds we see in our morning jogs. Even around cities, we see nature surrounding us, maybe without a second glimpse or even acknowledging it being there, with birds on power lines, trees lining the roads, hills that lead into the downtown, and untouched areas that still sit along the skylines. Our everyday life is surrounded by nature, by wilderness, and for the most part, is gone unnoticed and underappreciated. And from the wise words of the guy I spoke to while he was fishing today, nature is a sense of calm, a way to get out of your everyday thoughts. He describes wilderness as being all around us. If wildlife is there, then it's the wild. We look at nature as an escape. From what? It's really down to the individual. Maybe that nature is going outside and experiencing fresh air or taking a walk. Others might see nature as the world around us and explore that with learning, either through documentaries or even escapism through media. Games, movies, books, they all have a place in our hearts, and they all do their fair share at representing nature in their own ways. Movies, they take us into the jungles, and books, they put you in the perspective of a mountaineer. Or games, that sole purpose is mixing realism into a virtual world to allow us just to simply pick some flowers. There's a shared memory I have among many other people throughout my life, and it's that of picking up a stick and using it as a weapon. The long stick is for a sword, short one for a knife, and that ever so crooked stick as a gun. So many fond memories of just a simple thing as a stick that could be found in a backyard is something that connects us to nature and to one another. Without even noticing it, nature has taken a hold of our everyday lives, and for the views of a first world perspective, it starts with that modern escapism, with our desire to have pets or go to a zoo, or the people who make a livelihood out of owning larger animals such as cows, horses, and give out rides and pets for a few bucks. But nature, it ignores us, chooses its own thing when we go out and make a moment of it. Trees continue to grow, birds live, nests die, all without us being there. And those things that were once a part of us cease to matter in the long run. Nature grows around it. Something I see a lot in my life, where I live near a bunch of old farmland, either that's been forgotten about or repurposed to become something else. We see fences that were once marked property lines, now just live alongside trees, barbed wire and metal fences intertwined with the new growth. Old, worn-down bridges are nothing more than homes for graffiti and spiders, while the natural land bridges that were once used are no longer because they've weathered away to become nothing more than a few rocks. As we develop as a society and culture, things become apparent in our use of nature. We ignore it. We tear down trees to put up new shopping districts. We make concrete bridges across lakes to make our driving routes just a bit shorter. All these things are made into developing us, but at the same time, we limit the world around us. After these things are built, then implements the trees and what I consider to be nature, with the birds and the rodents moving back in. But why don't we push forward in keeping nature that was already there and build around them? Neighborhoods have been doing it for a while, keeping ponds, lakes, streams, forests, while only removing some of it for residential areas. If cities started to do the same, they can leave nature that was there, removing some to build around, and then implement ways for natural gardens to grow and have the cities work alongside the ground it was built upon. That, of course, then leads back into the question, what is wild? And how do we get wild to be involved in our everyday lives without needing to leave what we consider society?